Is it about the sanitary products? What? Is it about disposal of sanitary products? Where are we in all of those? Are those not opportunities? And what is very interesting is that when you are the innovator, we also have a proverb. A child cannot be a child in the bush meat he killed. You see, others will tell you, oh no, women do not eat the leg of the meat. That's where the flesh is. But you cannot be a child or a woman in the bush meat you killed. Okay? So I'm almost rounding up because this is part of the heading to the last slides. In the area of gender-sensitive products, in the area of wash entrepreneurship, tapping into opportunities in capacity building and research leadership. And I have raised a lot of research questions here. Are you empowered to go in? I mean, 25 books in the year, I just pinched myself. You can see the difference. That's why he's where he is. Okay, so let me quickly begin to round up. So what do we do to maximize opportunities? Capacity building towards a critical mass of professionals. Okay, even when we say we have people, we don't have enough yet. We don't have enough yet. One person, it's hard for one person to make a highway. You need a critical mass. And I'm looking at research leadership at master's and PhD levels. And I wrote there, we will not be doing African science. We will not be doing African science. We will be doing what? Science in Africa. And PhD is a research degree. Sorry about that. If you have a master's in our office, we'll make you a research officer and hope that you are inspired to do a PhD. Are you still with me? Okay. Existing scholarships, models for graduate training that can be amplified. We have an Africa Doctoral Dissertation Research Fellowship. Interestingly, in that research fellowship, it is a fellowship that gives Africans who are doing PhD. If you have 2 more years to go, you talk to us, provided it is in the area we are working. We have funding to give you the last push. Because many people get stuck at field work and analysis level. And interestingly, we have a testimonial about it. Because one of the persons with us today was a young Kenyan girl who was doing masters. And she applied for that fellowship, and we gave her about $10,000 to $12,000. Okay? And she graduated. She came for an interview. I didn't know her. She just applied. We advised her. And it became clear when she came, she was the least in terms of experience. Other people had more experience, but they have been doing masters for a long time. They've not graduated. So she was the only person who has graduated masters. And she got the job. She is with us today. And we're not allowing her to rest because she need to do a PhD. Are you still with me? So there are programs like that. But you gotta be ready for change. We need to interrogate women in STEM, recruitment, retention, and career progression towards leadership and beyond. So the idea of always looking at the boardroom and who is there is fine, but that's not the issue. What about the pipeline? How do you recruit? Are there positive deviants, men and women, that we can mainstream and follow? Undertake evaluation. I'm rushing now just to close in a couple of minutes. Undertake evaluation of middle-level training institutes. The one Dr. Sumba was leading, how far has it gone in its mission? How are they faring? Where are their graduates now? What would they say about the adequacy of the training they received? Do we need curriculum reviews and updates? Not only in these institutions, but in our universities. Okay? Entrepreneurship in water and sanitation sectors. Who pays for it? Who pays for it? Startup loans, grants, National Youth Fund. I was just listening to scholarship boards, business school curricula. Wash investors. Who pays? Who pays? These are issues. Behavior and value change. I wanted to say I must get there. A leech has 2 children. You know their names. Do you know the names of the 2 children of the leech? Give me give me. Why not it being about value addition? What can I do through what is and what is not yet available? Critical and sober reflections of planting, watering, and harvesting. Instant gratification may not serve our purpose. I didn't meet Wale before this meeting, and I also heard him mention that. So in conclusion, WASH is an essential sector, and how can we mobilize our human capital in youth and women? How can we not just mobilize, but train them and engage them? It may not be about men versus women, youth versus adults. As those levels are revolving doors, hello, they are revolving doors. Don't look at yourself. Say, I'm a youth. Vincent, the clock is ticking. If you are doing this PhD, do it fast. Okay? It is about evolving an inclusive, productive process of inputs and outputs in existing opportunities, in creating new ones, new frontiers, new models, by and for those prepared and ready to engage and proceed. So it is addressing structural hindrances that prevented our forebears. As if those problems remain, youth of today will get older, and their children, which will be young men and women, will end up at the same spot, crying the same cry of yesterday's and our today. Every generation have their challenges, and ours is with us. And one of those challenges is building an inclusive, equitable society, and in different sectors. And so I think if we work collaboratively, we will get there. So that will be my last slide. In collaborative partnerships, targets, even moving targets, can be achieved. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Now let's appreciate Professor Blessing. It's a very interesting discussion, but time is not our best ally, and at times you have to go to the audience to choose. Health break closes at 11. It is 11:06. I've requested for 15 minutes. Otherwise, it will be closed and we'll not have to access it. So I want to plead with the next presenters. If it is 2 or 3 minutes, please take it so that we don't delay people here and it destroys the program. So, Daktari, please, in 5 minutes we wind up. Time is not our best ally.
No problem.
So this is our plea to the next speakers. Thank you. Then after this, I think if we are coming to maybe 10 minutes, 11:17, we will go for break up to noon. Then we go to our other breakouts. So break will be for around 40 minutes or thereabout. So if you get out, there's a garden outside here. That is where the health break. So let's not go beyond 11:20. So I'm pleading with the hotel to do that so that you're served. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Professor Mberu. Can we have another hand clap for him? Yeah, he has raised so many critical questions that need research and capacity building to get the solutions. Now, can we have the next panelists just come on stage quickly? We have Dr. Engineer James Meso, Professor Walter Oyawa, Professor Patrick Hayombe, and Gaudentia Owino. And then Dominic Kyogora. So I think we'll combine the introduction section and just a brief introduction of your institution, and then you'll tell us a little bit from your institution perspective, what are the opportunities for capacity development and research for the youth and women in water and sanitation. So you have 5 minutes each to just wrap up, and I know you are dons, so you can easily do this. So Professor Hayombe, who was my boss when I was doing research. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Dr. Sumba, who is the former director of KEWI, and I took over after her. So I'm saying I'm the director of Kenya Water Institute, which is a state corporation with the specific mandate to do training, research, outreach, and consultancy. Those broad areas are very critical for the youth and women. So they are welcome to be in those 3 branches. Kenya Water Institute was constituted with the KEWI Act 2001, has given us that mandate to be in charge of quality in the water sector, bring quality in the water sector. Now, we offer diploma courses, which is in water engineering, wastewater and sanitation engineering, irrigation and drainage. We also offer, so these same courses of diploma, we also have certificates. We have water operators course. We mainly train water technicians. Those are opportunities for the youth. And what is more critical now is that KEWI has expanded and is progressing to expand as a transformative institution to do vertical expansion. That is the thinking of once you join KEWI with a basic plumbing course, you can progress up to diploma and also think of doing a higher TVET course. We're also expanding into the counties, so we are going regional, horizontal expansion, and those are opportunities. We want open campuses in various counties, almost 8 programmed for now, and that will reach so many youth. We have developed 2 critical courses. One, water governance, and I would encourage the ladies here and youth to do that course so that you are retooled in leadership skills. So water governance course is an online course you can join. We have just piloted some 2 weeks ago. So when we do an advert, please join so that we don't talk about governance all the time. You can train yourself, and you train at the comfort of your office. We have also transformed all our courses as blended learning. We are now doing e-learning with 204,000 students, 2,400 students currently enrolled, which means we want to encourage you to enroll in our e-learning platform. We can now teach you diploma certificate at your comfort of your office. You can join and only come to KEWI for practicals. So those are where we are opening up for the youth, and the youth empowerment capacity is internship. We have really encouraged internship where we take our best students, we are now recruiting them as instructors and lab techs. So that's another area we've opened up for courtesy for the CS for water, sanitation, irrigation, Madam Cecil Kariuki. When we had our last graduation, she instructed and directed, the way she directed here, that we should take interns and give opportunities. And we are already doing it in KEWI. And it's luckily enough that the interns we took, especially from KEWI, majority of them, the best students were ladies. So they got that opportunity. KEWI is also doing research in quite a wide area. We are involved in sanitation research. And I think before I came, Sumba and his team had done a proposal which was sent to African Development Bank, and we are now doing the sanitation research. So we are there in big way. We just did a GIS and Earth Observation Symposium, which attracted 2,407 participants. And that was an opportunity for the youth to participate. You could participate in that symposium wherever you are. That's how where KEWI is. Thank you so much.
So thank you, Prof. Okay. thank you. So our next speaker.
Thank you, thank you. My name is James Meso Raude. I'm from Jomo Kenyatta University of Agriculture and Technology. You can Google, just Google James Meso Raude. JQuat, you'll get the details from there. Now, as JQuat, I think this conference has come in at the right time. Over the last 3 years, we've been developing a curriculum, a master's curriculum in sanitation. So MSc Sanitation, JQuat is offering this particular MSc as from September this year. We are only waiting for a note from Commission for University Education, and you'll see the advert. The program offers the youth, and specifically ladies who are the youth. It might have some rewards, not that it might have, it will definitely have rewards for the youth, specifically the ladies, because we want the critical mass to be the ladies. So this is an opportunity for you to pursue the MSc program. I'm loud enough, you can hear me? Yeah, it's an opportunity for you to pursue a MSc from JQuat. And by the way, it will be through blended learning. We'll have very few face-to-face classes. The majority of classes will be through online, our online platform. For those of you who wouldn't want to pursue an MSc in sanitation, we have an option for you. We'll offer short courses. In fact, the total course the total program has a total of 13 units. 10 of them will be modules, so you can take up some of the units as short course modules. And as you are aware, my colleague did mention here, we are drifting towards applied research. Already we have thematic areas. We want students to explore those thematic areas further. One of them is in the black soldier fly. When it comes to sanitation, we are trying to look at sanitation as a business. How can sanitation be able to create employment? We want you to create your own employment and employ people. And therefore, we are looking at sanitation value chain, and then we want to segregate that so that we can have so many other actors along the value chain. For example, my colleague talked about the black soldier fly. Yes, we are already there producing biodiesel. But you see, there are quite a number of questions that have to be answered. For example, what is the economic value of producing the biodiesel? We want these questions answered through research. Will it, if we end up generating the biodiesel, of which already my PhD student has produced the biodiesel, can it be a startup company such that we roll out this as a business so that we end up having biodiesel produced in Kenya from JQuat? Let me stop there for the interest of time. But I'm available. I'll be hovering around. Just feel free to talk to me.
Okay. Okay. So as they sanitize the... Okay. Learning never stops. Learning never stops. I recently undertook a short course on public health and sanitation, and Dr. Dominic was my lecturer. So Dominic, will you please speak to the participants?
Yeah, thank you very much. I am Dominic Kiogora, a sanitation enthusiast, and also trained on the same. My perspective first on sanitation. There has been a notion which has taken water and sanitation to be Siamese twins, conjoined. I'm not so sure where. But every time we talk about sanitation and water, they have to be in the same sentence. I'm not saying we don't talk about any, but my take on it is this could be related, maybe cousins, maybe brother and sister. They are not Siamese twins. And for that, we had a challenge, a small challenge, when we were rolling out our Master of Science in Sanitation at Mary University, because when we took it to the Commission for Higher Education, the first comment that came was, you need to include water in this. Where is water in the sanitation? And it took us some time to iron that out. We had to do a lot of explanation that we are dealing with sanitation because we know there are other people who are dealing with water. So they are not Siamese. Capacity building in sanitation. At Mary University of Science and Technology, our approach right now, we have 2 cohorts of Masters of Science in Sanitation, and our emphasis is so much again on on-site sanitation systems, the non-seaward sanitation. And again, these 2 are held, I don't know whether they Siamese or it's like a chimera, it's one thing. It's not. There's the seaward sanitation, which is good. The gold standard, and everybody aspires to be together from where we got it from our masters. But the bulk of our population will be served, and is being served by the non-seaward sanitation. And the approach that we are taking now is the mapping of sanitation needs across the entire chain, from the containment to the transport, treatment, and reuse. And we are riding on the wave of women, especially, as the de facto leaders in sanitation. Why fix that which is not broken? Women have done it for ages. They still are the ones doing it. Let's give them the role to do it. And as I sit here, I'm here due to affirmative action. I'm operating under a group of women, very able women. Dr. Joy Ryungu, she's the guru in sanitation on this. Dr. Eunice Marete, passionate about sanitation. Dorothy Kagendo, a group of 6 women who are working towards building sanitation. And when this one came, they said, let's do some affirmative action and send a man. And I was hoping there will be a whole lot of women that will be the only man, but that wasn't to be the case. In terms of access, which is what everybody talks about when they talk about sanitation, we leave it to Kenyans. Once this industry is good, the imagination of Kenyans will work very well on the superstructures and all the capture systems. I want to talk about these now stages in terms of the various domains that we are looking at. There's the, for a minute, yes. There's the governance domain, which is about the distribution of this waste, the distribution of power, the distribution of the money from sanitation, and who decides what happens. And this is, we have courses in governance and that. We have the domain of financing and business models. For this to be vibrant, we have to think about sanitation as a business and the process also that involves the money that flows, or the financial flows. Lastly, yesterday, the day before yesterday, and for the last couple of weeks, there has been policy development meetings. And when we talk about policy also, we are trying to view it from the perspective of policies and practice. Until the policies are cognizant of the extant practices, then we may not get it. And these practices are that women are at the forefront of sanitation. Let's take them there. Finally, as I was coming, I was informed, and this is true, that, we knew of this conference, and we decided to delay the 3rd cohort by at least 6 weeks so that we could say this, and I'm saying this. We are having the Master of Science in Sanitation, and we want to focus very much on women. So far, I have 78 students enrolled, over 50 of who are women, and young ones for that matter. We have men too, but the message I want to carry home message here is, I still have a few slots, and we've sourced for some funding for those few slots for women who want to train in Masters of Science in Sanitation, or in the short courses, or in the diploma program. But we have fully sponsored a few slots, fully sponsored for women. Please take up these positions. And while at it, I also want to mention that we are welcome to well wishers who would want to give us a matching fund so that if you come with a certain proportion, we can match it, provided that we are supporting a woman to do the Master of Science in Sanitation. Thank you very much. I hope we interact further for the interest of time. That's what I had. Next week, we are trying out. Next week, I am trying out a panel of people trying out feeds, meat that has been fed on feeds that have been made from poo. That is the black soldier fly we are doing with the Jomo Kenyatta University. The chicks are ready. Next week, we will be testing them, testing for sensory tests. And if anybody is around Meru, please register with me. I want us as a representative panel as can be possible for us to do this. That's the point we are at in the reuse of sanitation products. And Dr. Leonita Zumba has also been one of my teachers in that program. She facilitated, she didn't mention that, yes, the sanitation in public health. Okay. Thank you, Doctor.
Thank you. Okay. So, Professor Mberu will just wrap up 1 minute, then we close. Yeah. So if you have any questions, just send them to the email that was provided. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. Thank you, distinguished professors. We met somewhere in the spirit, so we are saying the same thing. And friends, you can see that opportunities are bound. Okay, opportunities are bound, and there was this wrestler in those days when we used to watch wrestling match. Those guys come with all those shoes. They say this guy doesn't make any shoe. He just comes, and as this guy is running around, he is looking at audience and saying, action, action. Are you ready to take action? A journey of 1,000 miles starts with registering with Nile, Jacquard, and there are so many opportunities, and I hear those questions. So I want us to take action. I remember that black American author, Maya Angelou. She said, if you aim low and hit, I will never forgive you. Mm-hmm. Never. But if you aim high and miss, you are forgiven. Okay. Thank you very much.
Okay, so thank you very much for this. We are sorry we had to rush you up, but you're going to have an opportunity maybe to sit on other panels that will be coming. So you'll expound on what you're doing. So thank you, panelists. Can we have a clap for them?